Welcome to It's About Your Paycheck. We're here to inform you and empower you in regards to your pay. Let's go.
Welcome back, folks. How you doing today, Walt?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's another day, another dollar, another episode. Just excited for this one, man. I think this one is really important, especially in
Yeah,
today's climate
yeah,
with wages, earnings, expenses, inflation, all those fun things
yeah.
that are going
Oh
on
my
in the world.
gosh.
So I'm excited for this episode, man. How you doing, man? You been off the last couple of days. How you been?
Yeah, I'm well off from our day job, but I'm still grinding at this stuff. And it was good. It was good. It's like the comeback blues. So we talking about spending today, folks. It's about
Yes.
your paycheck. Back with another episode and to help folks really get a picture on spending, right? We talked about budgeting, I think. And also I dropped a TikTok talking about budgeting and we got
Talking
a
about
tip
budgeting.
somewhere. We started the conversation, right? And I love the way you put it. You have put it somewhere. It was like, hey, we're not saying how to do it. We're just saying that you have to do it.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what's important with this stuff. The first few steps, having the intention to do it, gaining the knowledge to do it, and
Yes.
applying that. And
Empowering yourself to do that.
yeah. And we're on
Empower
this
yourself.
journey, like I had dropped on the TikTok. We're on this journey together, folks. Like we're in this with y'all and
Yeah.
us. This is a learning thing. I know what I do good. I know where my areas of improvement are, and we're still working on it. It's just like a work in progress, man.
Yeah.
So getting an idea of the spending and looking at your spending habits like a GPS of our financial journey. I love that. Guiding us towards prosperity or pitfalls. And it's true, good or bad. We're gonna make mistakes, right? We may
Yeah.
you point
Mhm.
out some of it is art, a little bit of it is art, most of it's math. Most of it's math and just doing math and stuff. But there is some art of it. Folks try to, oh, my strategy is the best and da da da.
So this term that I'm going to say, best practice, is
Mm-hmm.
typically a term that we use in our work environment on our nine to
Yep.
five. But best practice for you as consumers and employees that get this check is to establish a budget, is to
Yes.
monitor some type of establish some type of budget to monitor your earnings and your spending, just to like keep yourself under in control when it comes to those habits and things like that, because the society has conditioned us to consume, to
Mm-hmm.
buy. We're always
Mm-hmm.
seeing ads. You ever have a conversation? You and I have had conversations. Oh
Yep.
man, I'm thinking about getting this for the house, and then we go on Instagram, and it's like the
I thought you
system
were
has
gonna
been
say the
listening to
pricing,
us.
like, oh my God. Yeah.
No, the
Oh yeah.
system,
The systems know. They
the
you
algorithm
that's
is
exactly what
listening.
yep.
Alexa's listening to our conversations.
Absolutely.
You know,
Ab-
so it's important to establish that budget. But to your point, Brian, it's there's also more than one way that you can do that.
mm-hmm.
There's a 70-20-10 budget. There's a
Oh
50,
gosh, you said the
whatever.
apps. You want
Yeah.
we can do apps, you can do a method, you can apply like any
Mhm.
from zero tech to very high tech. There's
Yep.
all and all, but again, it's about establishing that budget, set starting positive spending habits, right?
Hmm.
And then this stuff can lead to financial security and peace, right? It gives you some
Yeah.
like knowing, right? For some folks, they know they got a good handle on it, and it's
Hmm.
a good thing. Money for me has unfortunately has been something tough to I don't know what uncomfortable. I guess being broke, man. My wife was telling me like, oh, it's bad because every time we talk about money, I get nervous,
Heads up. Like,
I get tense up, and
yeah.
so
Hmm.
this I had this bad relationship with money,
Hmm.
but and being broke could do it to you at one point. Just come in, it's
Yeah.
PTSD, yeah, bro, exactly. So we gotta start and have positive spending habits,
Yeah.
budgeting and saving, and then get away from the negative habits,
Like
right?
what?
Impulse buying,
Oh
right?
man.
Using your credit card. We told them my
What?
oldest don't want me to put her business out there like that, so whatever. But credit cards, don't get credit card. It's a balancing act with credit cards, and
Hmm.
that can easily pull you. I remember young and getting credit. Oof, I thought I was rich. I was
Yep.
like, yeah, what?
And
I'm
bro,
balling,
my first credit card, swipe, swipe.
balling.
and then
balling.
maxed out.
Yep. Quick. Wait a minute. Now what? How does this work?
Yeah. Uh,
And heaven
they're going.
forbid you do it moderately, because then they up your credit. They keep upping your credit.
Yeah.
They're like, "Ooh, you a good customer. Oh, you
Hmm.
making us money and you keeping a low balance. Like, we like you.
Hmm.
We're gonna up your balance." And then
You're
you're
paying
like,
it
"Oh,
off. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
you're right. If you're good, you then they keep upping your shit. You're like, whoa, wait a
Yeah.
minute. I don't want any
Yeah.
more." But it's such a hard thing to deal with,
Yeah.
debt and having excessive debt, because of, so there's like a rule of thumb that you should only maintain like a 20% budget. It used to be 30%, but because of the
Hmm.
economy that we're in now, 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Let's get into some of these stats, bro. Share some of these stats with us.
Okay. Yeah. Before I do that, I wanted to say how your paycheck is a part of this process, right?
Absolutely. Starts with the
And
paycheck.
so imagine your paycheck as a tool or
Yes.
a part of the process
I like that. Yes.
that you put in there, and that you have to use it properly in order for you to manage your funds
I love it.
correctly.
Yes. Yes.
And and that's the key to unlocking your pay potential. That's the key
Yep.
to unlocking those things and realizing, hey, yes, I want this thing, but maybe I have to wait for it a
Hmm.
little bit. You know what I'm saying? And do I and I think it's establishing what is actually a want versus what's a necessity.
Hmm. That's huge. But a lot of people
Yeah.
say, I need this. Do
Hmm.
you know?
Yep.
Because there's only
Yep.
very few things we need to
Yep.
survive. Everything else we want.
Yep. Yep.
Oh
You're
yeah,
right.
I love that.
So
And go ahead, go for it.
no, before I get into that I'm gonna share some of the stats, and then Brian's going to go over some of the main household expenses. He has a nice little chart and stuff like that, and he'll go over that here after I share these stats. But remember, set a budget, track your expenses, prioritize savings if you can. That is how you're going to gain control over your money, right? And ensuring that it works for you instead of the other way around.
Yeah, for real.
So whether you're eyeing that dream vacation or saving for a rainy day, mastering your spending habits is the bridge that connects your present choices to your future aspirations.
Yeah.
So basically, what you do now what you decide to do now, how you spend now is going to decide your future. So a lot of us aren't thinking about retirement at this point in time. We're just spending and not really thinking like, hey, I don't want to work until I'm 70 or damn near 80 years old.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
should be saving and investing and doing all these different things more.
Yep.
So, but a lot of us aren't doing that. We're trying to live our best life in the
Yeah.
moment. So
Hmm.
it's okay for you to live your best life, but you need to have some moderation in there as well.
I think that right. Living my our best life should mean very different things for different people.
Yes. Yes. All right. So the key stats that I have. The average median household income in the United States for 2023 so far has been almost $68,000. However, some states range between 50 and 90. So it depends on your location, right? So some states are a little bit more expensive, meaning that your income will be a little bit more higher due to the cost of living, the average prices there, right? So my price where I'm at may be a little bit different than where Brian is because of his location, right? So that's one thing. That's what that's saying. The average annual salary nationwide was almost 60,000, $59,428 in 2023. That's an average hourly rate of $28.34. The average income to maintain a comfortable lifestyle rose by 20% in 1 year between 2022 and 2023. So think about that. And that's partly due to inflation, right? We know inflation has impacted prices and everything like that. So in 1 year, in order for you to have a comfortable lifestyle, you that increased by 20%. So think about that, Brian. That's a lot. That's a
I'm not
lot.
good with percentages, bro. I don't know what that looks like in money.
Oh, so if my average salary was 60,000 and I needed 20% of that to match what inflation caused, that means I would need an extra $12,000.
Oh damn,
So that means I would need a raise to
that's a
72,000.
$1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, this is William Tincup, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Practitioner Corner podcast. It's a wonderful podcast about the journey, the paths of how practitioners, both HR and TA, kind of go from high school, college, all the way to where they are right now. Some of the things that they've learned, how they've been successful, people that thrive around them, etc. It's a fun podcast. You'll love it. You'll learn from it. Subscribe to it. Thanks.
So think about that. That's how much inflation has impacted.
So I need $1,000 more a month to
Yes.
maintain comfortability.
Yes. And
Wow.
that changed in 1 year from 2022 to 2023. So you see why it's important to really manage our spending habits. Hey, when you go to the grocery store, I know you like the name brand cereals. Maybe you have to get the store brand one if a little bit sometimes to save some money. It's because the name brand ones might be $5-6. The store brand might be half that price. So that's something to think about. The average median income for U.S. families with two people was 75,000 in 2023. Families headed by single parents tend to have lower incomes than married couples, which is true. You have dual income,
Parents have lower incomes than married couples.
which
Okay.
is normally true, right? Because unless you're a higher earner than a single parent who's a higher earner, then most times when there's dual incomes in a household, the total of those dual incomes is going to be more, is what it's
Oh, it's just
saying.
numbers. Single
Yeah.
parent is one adult in the house, and married couples two
Yep.
adults in the house. Oh,
That's
okay.
it. That's it.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
it.
Still not a lot more. You would think two people would double the average, and it doesn't. It only puts it up by what, a quarter of that, or I don't know,
That's crazy. Yeah.
$15,000 more, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's two. You would think it would at least double it.
Yeah. It does. It's
This
surprising
is
that it doesn't, right?
yeah. This is why America's struggling. This is why we 70% paycheck to paycheck.
Paycheck to paycheck. The average American household spent almost 73,000 in 2023. So think about that. I want to bring up that other number. What it said, the median household income is 68,000, but it's saying that the average household spent almost 73, just almost $5,000 more than what you've made.
Yep. We live beyond our means.
That's by shopping with credit,
Keeping
using
up
those
with
credits.
the Joneses. Yep. Credit swiping. People are like,
so that's a 9% increase from 2021. So spending has gone up almost 10% in American households. Now, some of that is due to inflation because of prices, and like some of you might still be living within the same means that you always have, but prices have gone up on everything, which is why you're spending a little bit more. So that comes into it as well. The average monthly expense that equates to $6,081. So that 73,000, that month, that equates to $6,000 per month that you're spending. So that's crazy, right? That the average American household spent the most on housing. As we know, housing has skyrocketed in price. And Ryan's going to talk some more about the percentages and the per month amounts for those in 2023. The average American household spent over $9,000 on food in the year. And the average annual income after taxes was $78,000.
Yep. So what I was looking at was, because you said what was it that made me think of it? The inflations and everything going up and up and up. Everything goes up. But the average income doesn't rise much. It only nudged up like less than 1% in from 19 to 20 or to 21
Mhm.
rather. And so that means we have to be more aggressive about the budgeting of things. If
Yes.
we're not making money to cover it, we got to be more aggressive about the budgeting. How do we work with what we have?
Yeah. And something you mentioned is, do you, do you have to start a side hustle?
Oh yeah,
Do
I was just thinking
you,
about that. You're so funny.
yeah, like we talked about this when we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about this over the weekend. You mentioned, hey, maybe you have to start a side hustle. Maybe you have to do this just to supplement and try to counteract
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
inflation and stuff like that. That's why
Yeah.
you see a lot of people doing the gig work plus
Yes.
working their nine
Yes.
to five or
Yep.
whatever, or doing something individually on their own type of business
Mm-hmm.
outside of their normal 9 to 5. So yeah, great points, man.
Yeah.
With that being said, Brian's going to talk about the main household expenses and give you some fascinating numbers.
So yeah, so they're basically the 10 major categories that we found out there, right? And in order, housing with an average of 1,800 a month in spending.
Jeez.
At this point, I don't know if it's good or bad. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Here's how we put it into perspective. What is the average income again? 69
The average income per household is
household earnings. Yeah,
60. Let's just say 68.
68.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. So that's 68 divided by 12 is $5,000 a month. So we work, let's say 6,000, but that's gross. That's gross. So now
Mm-hmm.
if I take that and times it by 25%, which is on the high end, folks, but it is a good little quick cheat on how much like
Housing.
you know how much you can bring in home after taxes.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
From a gross of 6,000, you're bringing home about 4,200 a month.
Let's say 4,000.
So let's say 4,000. Yeah, because I'm going up on the okay. So 4,000. Now, right out the gate, the average household housing is 2,000.
Have your
So
money
it's
gone.
half your money gone already. So now they're saying transportation. So let's start over. We put it in perspective. If the average American is making 6,000 gross, 4,000 net per month, we talked about gross and net in the first two episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then here's the expenses.
Mm-hmm.
30 housing, 33%. It might be a little higher, but at
Yeah.
1,800 a month. Transportation is at 16% at $900 a month.
Yep.
Food is where we struggle as well. Like I struggle with this eating out versus buying groceries and the balance
Mm-hmm.
and the is at 12%, $700 a month. Personal insurance and pensions is at 11% at $650 a month. Healthcare is 8% at $450 a month. Entertainment 5%, $300 a month. And that probably fluctuates because here's other, right? Wait, here's three categories that kind of entertainment, other, and cash probably go together at what was
Yeah.
that 9? That would put it at 15% in these three categories.
Ooh.
Entertainment at 300, other at 230 bucks, cash at 200, right? And then apparel at 2% at $150 a month. And the last one, folks, and this is a shame, and this is why we are a big proponent of this show
Mm-hmm.
and our other show, and because we always say invest in yourselves. Do not be scared of investing in yourself because the last category is education at let's say 2%, and we're being generous here, at $100 a month. It
Think
should
about
be
that.
flip flop. Like that should be like right before entertainment at least 6-7% a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
gotta invest. And if that means
Well,
I still got a student loan, that's my student loan payment.
yeah.
So I'm
See,
still investing in myself if you want to be, but it should also be continuing education, subscription to something like listen to this is time. Listen to this show is just time right now.
and it's not an excuse. This is not an excuse, but I
For
can
what?
understand why that
Why?
education is so low
Why?
because of the cost of it. If we're saying like all these different expenses,
Nope.
for some people, they cannot afford the extra piece of it.
That is the thing, though. With the
Now,
education, you can't afford not to do it.
I
Because
get what you're saying, but some people cannot afford it, Brian.
LinkedIn is like 20, $40 a month, and there's a ton of classes there. So you're
Yeah,
telling me, and this is my problem with what you're saying, entertainment, other, and cash and apparel, double and triple education category. So all people have to do is adjust those categories,
I'm not
spend
disagreeing
money.
with what you're saying. I'm not
That's all I'm
disagreeing,
saying.
but I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm not challenging that.
No,
I,
you're saying some
what
people can't afford the education piece.
they cannot, and that's the truth. That is unfortunately the
That's
truth.
a rare. That I would
Look,
say
look,
that's a
look, look, look.
rare.
No, it's not. Look at the total. If 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, how can they afford the extra education piece, right? Unless their wages went up, right? That's a part of
No,
it. So look at
well,
the total
if this is
average.
the average budget, if this is the average spend,
Does work feel like a show lately? That's because it is. Everything's changing. Jobs, skills, tech, expectations, and somehow you're just supposed to keep up and stay positive and not forget to fill out your 47th engagement survey. I'm Rachel Bourne, host of The Shift Show, where we stop pretending work makes sense and we start figuring out how to thrive in the middle of this madness. No fluff, no buzzwords, just real talk about AI, leadership, burnout, and what the hell is actually happening at work. If you've ever thought, is it just me or did things just get weird? It's not you. It's all of us. Listen to The Shift Show wherever you find your podcast. Find me on LinkedIn, YouTube, or theshiftshow.net.
on an American, the American so I don't know if you're talking about someone who's a little bit more broke and desolate, but if somebody has this budget and they're spending this budget, they need to adjust. Oh, you're not talking
I'm not
about
talking
this
about this
person.
budget.
There we go. Now you're clarifying. Okay.
But I said that earlier. You didn't listen.
Who
I said that
what?
earlier.
So who are you talking about then? Who is the person
I said there's some people that can't do that. That's exactly what I
that
said.
can't do any? So they're having trouble with
can't do
all
that.
these categories.
Yeah. So I said
Got
they can't. That's what it is. They can't afford the extra piece of it because, but you're right. You still need to educate yourself. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that we should take away take away from some of the entertainment. So instead of having that red zone subscription that you got for your NFL, like maybe you need to Netflix or enroll in a course. I'm not saying
LinkedIn is $27 or 20. Let's say it's $40 a month for LinkedIn now. Thousands of classes on there.
True.
There's no excuse. And again, you're talking. There is a person that can't. That's a case by case, I think. But the person that has this budget, they have to adjust the category. Period.
True.
Period.
True. So the total monthly expense average. That's the total of everything that you added.
5,500. So this is exactly right. You make 6,000, and that's not even good. It's over because you're netting 4, and your expenses of 5,500.
That was my point. Is this? They
so
honestly
you have to adjust. You have to squeeze this down.
Yeah, they honestly can't afford some of this. It's not just education. I was just speaking to the education piece. But bro, some of these apparel and services.
Yeah.
You remember we were growing up, like you had a couple of pair of good shoes, a couple of pair of good pants, a couple of pair of good shirts, and like, you had a couple. You may have worn the same pants.
I shopped bootleg on Jamaica Avenue in Queens. Like everything was bootleg for us. Like we couldn't afford I couldn't afford real polo stuff and real Tommy Hill. Like the only thing real I had was sneakers if I was lucky. You know what I mean? I would get real Nikes, but I might get a nice little shopping thing of clothes, like better than the next kid or whatever. I definitely like my mom's always took me shopping every year for school.
Yeah.
But it was like, this is what you got to spend. And she would say, you want to buy 2 pair of jeans there? Or you want to go over to Jamaica Ave and cop, boom, get a few pair of jeans and a few shirts. Yeah, it's a bootleg polo shirt. It's a bootleg Tommy Hilfiger shirt. But that's what it is.
So think about that's over. So your original number was 4,200, right?
Yeah.
So that's $1,300
over.
more that people are spending on. And like you said, that can go into inflation. Definitely has to do something with that. But people have to have healthcare. People have to, because some of them, most people have families, kids, someone that depend on them, so they have to have them covered in something. And honestly, it looks like even if you're making this, you really honestly can't afford that because you're overdoing it.
Yeah.
Because their take home pay is really $4,200. So you're probably doing a combination of your pay and credit cards.
Oof. Yeah. And this is why a budget is important, because you have to see what cash you're making and what you're spending. And you have to do this math, because then you don't know, you know what I mean? You don't know what you can afford, really, until you do this. If you're not doing this, then you don't, you can't even argue about what you can or cannot afford if you don't have a grasp on your numbers.
Yep.
It's like they say business owners, people with the side hustles, you got to have a grasp on your numbers. You know what I mean?
I'll use myself as an example, and then we'll continue on. Like, I remember before I started doing a budget, like really heavy, doing a heavy budget. I remember when I sat down to initially started several years ago, I remember going through my subscriptions, and I had 3 subscriptions to the same streaming service. 3.
Wow.
One I had signed up through my phone.
Wow.
And so it was just like recurring monthly. And then I wasn't paying attention to the emails. You get thousands of emails. So I would just bypass it. And then I also had it because I had used 2 different email addresses for the other 2. So it was just charging me $30 a month, 20 over what I was paying. It was $9.99 a month. I was paying it 3 times.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. You got to do it. You got to go through. There's something I do every few months is I download all my transactions, transaction that I can pull back up from.
Yep.
And you look, that's another way you can find your subscription, the oversubscribing and things like, be like, what's this? You know what I mean?
So think about that. If that is this is the average of household expenses. I want you to talk about the monthly expenses and household size and how that may change, because I feel like if this is an individual person, like for one person that has to cover those expenses, then like that monthly average should probably double. If you look at the bottom, it says single folks average monthly expense are $4,000. For married couples with no kids, it's $6,300. And then for a family of 4, it ranges between $7,000 to almost a little over $8,500.
Yeah,
depending on the ages of your kids.
Average monthly. That's right. Yep.
That 7,000, that's 94,000 or 84,000. $84,000 a year.
All the math is in the red, basically. Yes. So we, as Americans, each of us, right? And like you said, we have to start with the first tool in the box is that paycheck. Understanding how you get paid. Are there any numbers and levers that I can pull on that paycheck to help me out? Understanding your tax brackets, right? And getting a CPA to be like, hey, this is what having a plan there, right? Like Walt, oh my God, these numbers are horrible. But yeah, it's not in our favor. So we have to create the favor for ourselves. We have to create the math. And the first, again, leveraging your check, leveraging a budget. It's scary. It's eye-opening. Like this is.
So it's basically telling you for a family of 4, you need to, your expenses are almost 6 figures.
Yeah.
6 figures in expenses.
Yep.
That you have to pay for your family. I'm just like, geez, like no one. So both of you, in order to survive, both of you would probably need to be like over 70, and 80,
that's why that's why the numbers don't work when the income is at 69 for one person, but it only jumps to 75 for 2. What? And it's not in none of the math works in our favor. When you look at plus and minuses, we come out in the negative on all these numbers. And
so I see you have some numbers here.
No, we basically covered all of it.
Okay.
Yeah. We covered these numbers. It was just, like I said, it was there already. What we spend a month on housing, transportation, food. Food is broken down to $10,000 a year and almost $800 a month.
That's
and
crazy,
yeah. And now wait, no, hold on, right? If
that's not even ordering out, is it?
Exactly. That's where now the other entertainment and cash contributions come in at 15%, because the eating out is gonna get in there, right? These are just, folks, these are just big buckets, right? What they break down to you personally, that's where the fun is. Some people don't want to look at this reality and be like, oh, I don't want to see that. But it's helpful. Look, we made the switch to drinking coffee at home because of budgeting. And I don't even know if it's budgeting, but it was looking back at what we spent. Because budgeting is a going forward thing, right? Here's my budget on what I should spend for these categories, right? Tracking is, and looking at it in arrears is something different. Looking at the last 3 months and 6 months is what's going to help you create a budget for going forward, right? So the eye opener there was 1 year, and this was back in New York. You know, Dunkin' Donuts is huge in New York, right? Oh, we spent $3,000 or $4,000 in 1 year on coffee.
Whoa.
Yep. And this is both of us, but right, and maybe even at the time, maybe one, but and that's donuts involved too, because I used to take donuts to work a lot, right?
It's typically, you're gonna like, oh, they got this here. So
yep, we're going there anyway. Oh, let's grab some donuts as well. And like ice cream, the Dunkins that we went to in New York had the Baskin Robbins attached.
Baskin Robbins.
So okay, so there's a little bit of eating out in there, but it was a big eye opener, right? And it helped us adjust and say, okay, boom, now we drink coffee from home, and then we get it out every now and then. But before it was just way of life, everyday habit. Now it's a treat every now and then. This is a big difference. But that's what the tracking of it and then creating a budget looks like. Because then if you want to create a budget on that, that's not something that people want to do. That it may be uncomfortable to take $4,000 and divide it by 12, $300 a month on coffee.
That's crazy, bro.
When you look at it like that, you're like, I don't want to spend that in coffee. Oh, hell no.
No, just you saying that, you're just like, bro.
And mind you, that's Dunkin'. Starbucks is also huge and everywhere, right? There's Dunkin' and Starbucks is everywhere. New York is good on bodegas too, but you get the point. Forget about it. Starbucks, that's doubled. That's doubled.
I'll go to Starbucks maybe a handful. I can tell you on one hand how many times I've ordered and been to Starbucks this year. I can tell you on one hand.
That's me too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, no.
But like
myself, yes. My girls my kids like it. So like I'll take them. And then there was another tip that I had wanted to drop. A big mistake what people make when they make more money. And this is a thing that you can, again, taking it back to your paycheck and where you can control from where it starts. You get a raise, you get a bump. People are oh, I'm getting a new car. Boom. So now think about it. You're not helping, because now with these numbers,
I can afford it.
Knowing this stuff, knowing that it's built for you to be in the negative.
You're tuning into the Careering with Cameron podcast, your safe place for asking all the dumb questions about finding a job. This is the place for you to get a clear, step-by-step roadmap for your career journey, including things you haven't even thought of. If you're a bright, data-driven individual in a STEM field who struggles with people skills, or you're just finishing college and wondering what's next, you are in the right place. My goal is to help you feel ready and empowered, not just apply for positions, but find work that truly aligns with your passions. I do what I do because I believe no one should have to navigate this alone. For 20 years, I was on the other side of the desk as a recruiter. I saw what worked, what didn't, and why. Now, as an ICF certified professional coach, I'm bringing the insight to help you. helping you think like a recruiter so you can land the job you want. Each week, I'll be bringing you actionable advice on everything from best practices for resume writing to what you could ask in your interview. Be sure to subscribe and rate 5 stars if you enjoy the podcast so others can too. Also, make sure to follow us over on Careering with Cameron and visit our website at www.talent-connect.net. See you October 15th, where episode 1 will be released to discuss the number 1 reason why you're not getting a job.
You have to make sure that math works for you. If it works for you, then God bless. If you're ahead of the game and you got a control on this and you have, what do they say, 6 months of operating, 6 months of living expenses that you should have saved. And what's the stat? 60% of Americans don't even have $1,000 saved for emergencies, let alone 6 months of living expenses. Are you crazy?
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't know who has that, but
some people do. No, some people do. It's a very small percentage, but clearly, because 70% of us live paycheck to paycheck. So in that 30%, folks are making great decisions, right? Yeah. They're making great decisions. They're building great futures, money-wise.
Or they took a step and started to do it in their current situation now. So when they got the promotion, they advanced in their careers, they advanced in their businesses, whatever it is they advanced in, they already had good spending habits going into that before the windfall of money or income came in, right? So it's important right now to develop these good spending habits right now in your current situation. Learn how to budget right now. Right now with the money that you do have. Learn how to do it. It's okay to treat yourself, but you may have to do that in moderation. You may not be able to go out every weekend like you want to, but find other activities that you may enjoy and do that may not cost you a thing.
Exactly. And there's plenty of free stuff out there. If you try, if you're intentional about it, there's plenty of ways to save money. There's plenty of ways. I don't have anything else, bro. If you have anything else to share, please go ahead.
Yeah, just this last part. I know we mentioned inflation a little bit. Just wanted to say that is a part of that impact. We have all felt it. Brian, myself, you, those who are listening out there have felt this. The annual inflation rate for all items as of March this year was 5%. But some expenses have gone up way more than that. The cost of food is up this year a little under 10%. So think about that. Food is up. Housing is up almost 10%, 8%.
Pandemic drove everything up, man.
Energy bills are up almost 10%. So you're paying more to power your homes and stuff like that. And this article said the moral of the story is that you have to spend more money just to keep your current standard of living.
Yes. Yeah. You know what?
Go ahead.
No, I gotta edit out what I said before because I do have 5 quick things to leave folks with. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
Oh, okay. So on that note, right, here are some tips to curb your spending. And first and foremost, create and stick to a budget, like we've been saying. Save first. Save before you spend on, and I would say invest first before you start spending on things you want. Save, invest first, and then see what you have left. We have to flip that mentality of doing what we want first, right? Limit the impulse spending, review and adjust regularly, and stay away from high interest stuff, loans, credit cards, all that. That's it. I wish I had learned this stuff really early on. You know what I mean? As I didn't have good financial well. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, I wanted to point out, it's one of the things you spoke to about how we spend, right? And you shared with me what's his name? Damon Johns.
Yes.
Like how that has that $1
1, 2,
rule.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So for every dollar that you get, you need to do this with the first dollar. You need to do this with the second dollar.
First dollar is pay your bills. Second
Yeah.
dollar is invest.
Yes.
And then the third dollar could be for what you want, right?
But he said we have it backwards. We get what
Right.
we want.
We get what we want. Who invests? You know what I mean?
Then we might invest, and then we pay what we need.
Right. We get what we want. We pay our bills as best as we can, right? And it's definitely not great if you're getting what you want first. If you're good, you're paying your bills and then getting what you want. If you're great, you forego the things you want, right? For the sacrifice for, hey, wait, let me have some better spending habits. The want category should be limited, right? By putting these other things first, right? Paying your bill, investing, saving, investing, right? Even, what was it? Irv Gotti was on Drink Champs. Irv just recently sold all of Murder Inc. for $100 million. All of the, what is it? What are they called? The masters, the publishing, everything. Ashanti, Ja Rule. And those are just the two big names. He had plenty of artists and plenty of hits under there.
Yeah.
He said on the interest alone of that $100 million, in a very conservative like money market, he'll make $5 million a year.
Wow.
Just off interest, not investing $1, just keeping it in the bank. The bank is doing the investing with that, and they're paying him the interest. On the most conservative, he's getting $5 million a year. Now imagine if he just broke off a little bit and said, "Oh, I'm gonna be aggressive with this," and he is gonna be aggressive with it. Hopefully, he don't go broke. God bless him, because he wants to transform the whole. He's not gonna just sit back and chill with this, no, and retire. He's trying to start a whole nother empire and do something whole nother thing. God bless him, right? And that's that Hollis stuff, bro. That's Hollis Queens stand up. That's where I'm from. And we got a lot of great people coming out. Run DMC out of Hollis. I can go on and on about the great ones that have come out of Hollis and South Jamaica, Queens.
Brian Escobar.
Queens and that's right, Brian Escobar. One of my boys believes that wholeheartedly. He's, yo, we from Hollis. We are destined for greatness. And I'm like, yo, no doubt.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's just on conservative. If you save him, and what was that other stat we had? 50% of Americans that do save money don't get any advice on it. So you're saving all this money. I see people, I'm sure people have like hundreds of thousands of dollars saved over these years. If you're not getting any advice on that, you have lost so much money.
Any good advice?
Good advice. Well, good advice. Sure. Good advice. That's the assumption, is good advice.
There's plenty of advice out there. I see it on TikTok all the time when I'm going through and trying to duet with one of the posts and stuff like that. I see so many people just adding their spin on it and stuff like that, and saying stuff that's not necessarily
qualified advice. That's the better qualified advice.
Yes. Like the show, for instance.
Yeah. That's why we don't venture to say, hey, what to invest in or how to budget, just that it's important. Right. We've been in the money world for so long by connection through payroll that we've seen all these things, and we're the first step in financial wellness. Let us help you understand your check and how to make moves from there. So yeah, folks, that's it. That's all I got, Walt.
That's it. That's all I got too. Great show. Save,
and
invest.
And then listen to this show, watch this show. It's about your paycheck.com. We have another show. It's about your payroll.com.io. Sorry. The show is It's About Payroll. That's for the payroll pros. It's about your paycheck. Check out the website. Check us out, folks. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to It's About Payroll. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.